We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
Payroll and HR has responsibility anywhere employee information is.
Yes.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
That's a nugget. I hope you say that clip.
Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you.
Welcome back, folks. Episode 94, It's About Payroll. We're talking about New Year's. Going to give you some great advice about payroll in the New Year's. Be sure to check out next week's episode. We're going to learn some financial wellness. And before we get into this episode, how you doing, sir? How you doing, Walt, this morning?
I'm good, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
Do you have any plans tonight, man? How are you doing?
Just chilling. I'm great, man. Thank you. I'm just chilling with fam, low key again. Christmas was really same thing, just quiet, nice little Christmas, and New Year's probably be the same. Nothing crazy. Yeah, man, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, look, we get right into talking about New Year's. What does New Year's mean to you?
So New Year's for me is honestly, it's just become like another day, honestly, because it's really a time of fellowship and gathering and having fun and having a good time and bringing in the new year with people that you love, right? And that's really what it means to me. You know, it's about the connection and the people, not really necessarily about the day for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. The holidays always had turned into just being able to be with fam. You know, having that like I have a big family, and growing up, we used to do a lot of things together, and that became the fun part. I don't even care what the holiday is anymore. It was just that was the fun part. When I was young, we tried to go out, and after 12 came, I would break out and hang out. But I was really young. And then as a whole, New Year's, I try to not get caught up in the new year, new me deal. I'm really a firm believer that if there's a change in your life that you need to make it as soon as you accept it, as soon as you realize that. Yeah. But again, I do like to take advantage of the fact that, hey, look, it should be the calendar year part of it. It is a good time to refresh, to reevaluate.
This episode is presented by TimeTrakGO, the simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. In addition to the unique graphical employee time card that helps you quickly identify and fix mistakes, TimeTrakGO is excited to announce it's now compatible with QuickBooks Desktop, providing effortless data transfer and reduced errors. TimeTrakGO will not only save you time and money each week, but the easy-to-understand user interface and the ability to turn an ordinary tablet into an employee time clock will get you and your team up and going in just minutes. Find out what a simply better solution can do for your business. To learn more and sign up for your 14-day free trial, go to www.timetrakgo.com. That's TimeTrakGo.com, or call 888-321-9922. Let's go.
For payroll people, it's a reset of numbers, right?
Yeah.
If we take that mindset too, personally, I would like to do some things, right? So this year I do want to work on my health more, but I've already been doing that, right? And it's just a continuation of it, be more intentional. We talked about how time management is a challenge for us as a group, as for this. So time management is something I want to be more intentional about.
Yeah.
And family, man, just making sure that I'm making time for family and being present when I'm with them. What about you?
No, so for me, things that I'm going to focus on, I'm already focused on some of these already, but losing weight. I had a back injury, and for so long I've been nursing it, and I've been hesitant to do work on it and stuff, and haven't played basketball since I messed up my back. And that used to help me stay in a lot of shape when I was younger. So I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to start enjoying things that I like to do. And I don't have to go hard playing
No,
basketball. I can
no.
just have a good time and
Yeah.
shoot and just play a pickup game without exerting myself too much and
Yeah.
hurting my back again.
You ain't
So
going to the NBA.
no, I'm not. I want, and then also I'm gonna start a new hobby, man. Like I've been thinking about learning another language. I know some stuff, but I'm not fluent in any other language like that, like I am in English. But I want to possibly learn another language, or just do
Oh, so
something
you're
new.
not fluent in German. You just know
No, I
some.
know some.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Got
not
you.
fluent in Portuguese, but I know some. I'm not
Got you.
fluent in Spanish, but I know some.
Portuguese. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I know a little bit, but I just want to really just thinking about doing ASL, American Sign Language. I'm thinking about doing that this year, and just to do something new
Yeah.
and try something new that I haven't tried. I want to go skydiving.
Oh, that I'm not doing. Good
I
luck.
may do that. I may do that for my
We'll have to
42nd.
get you some business insurance before you do that.
No, because it's gonna be tandem first, so it won't just be me.
Don't matter. You're jumping out of a plane.
That, and then the last thing,
get biz insurance for war.
and then the last thing is I want to definitely like meditate and pray more, man. I feel like I can get reconnected to the spiritual part of myself, and sometimes I feel that we can lose ourselves in our work and our personal lives and forget that quiet time, that alone time, that meditation time where you can be grateful and you can pray or whatever your thing is. So that's for me. That's what I want to do. Yep.
Hi, I'm Stephen Rothberg.
And I'm Jeanette Leeds.
And together, we're the co-hosts of the High Volume Hiring Podcast.
Are you involved in hiring dozens or even hundreds of employees a year? If so, you know that the typical sourcing tools, tactics, and strategies, they just don't scale.
Yeah. Our bi-weekly podcast features news, tips, case studies, and interviews with the world's leading experts about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to high-volume hiring.
Make sure to subscribe today.
Dope. That's awesome, man. The other part is, what should payroll pros be doing right now, thinking about the new year? I know a lot of us or a lot of payroll pros will have exhaustion from the year end. I think about Gerard Hall and his thousands of W-2s that he's leading the charge and his team, making sure that it goes out accurately. So it's taxing. And share this, guys, folks out there, ladies and gentlemen in payroll. Let us know what your challenges are for year end, because I'm always curious, because some folks have really big challenge, like a lot. Oh my God, it's so stressful. And some folks kind of just, hey, got a checklist and make sure I get through the year end, and it's not as stressful. So I'd love to see the differences and understand the differences. I remember when I was at the college level doing payroll, there's a particular program that's very common at college level, but it's super manual. That is stressful at year end, because now you're in that, we got to produce our own W-2s. You got to make sure the numbers are right. You don't have the big box folks, like the big companies with the compliance built in and some dummy notifications built in to let you know, hey, this is off. That gets stressful when like the numbers are on you personally. Then it's very stressful, and you actually should be starting that process the beginning of the third quarter to start checking numbers and making sure that you're approaching directionally correct. But now, as it resets and we're in a new year, what should payroll people be thinking about?
Before
what's
you
up?
move
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
before you
No,
move
of
on.
course.
So in that scenario that you just gave, right, they should also be mindful and be sure to ask for help if they need help. If you're really inundated and you have a lot of work on your plate, and say you have a small team and you need assistance and you need help, escalate those things. Just don't sit there and try to take it all on and put yourself under so much pressure and possibly force yourself to miss something. I know that we work on a lot of stress sometimes, if not all the time, in payroll, finance, HR, but there could be times where you don't have enough soldiers for everything, right?
Yeah.
And that might be the case, especially with everything that's going on in the country with inflation and stuff. So just ask for help. I just wanted to put that out there.
Heck yeah.
Year-end is so important.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that you have enough resources and people to help you get that job done. So that's what I wanted to say.
Absolutely. No, that's a good call out, man. Thank you. And I'll take you through the first three here, and then we'll let Walt close us out.
Okay.
But we put it together a quick checklist of what payroll folks could start thinking about in the new year. There are a ton of more things, right? This is just to get the blood flowing, guys, and do your research. We always want to give you enough to be dangerous, but always encourage you to stay researching, stay learning, because that's payroll folk, that's HR folk. We have to stay learning. I think everybody should stay learning, but
Yes.
it's arguable.
Yeah.
So the first one for me, check all your updates in the jurisdictions your company is in. Federal, of course, because if you're in the U.S., everybody's in the federal jurisdiction.
Really?
You might have exemptions, but you
Yes.
still have to report. Go look at the IRS website. Go look and see what legislation, what updates there are. Is there a new W-2 form? Is there a new W-4 form? These type of things. Go look at the Circular E. What's up?
Yes.
I'm getting the blood flowing. What do you got?
So great call out on this was when I saw this note here for number 1 about checking all updates. That includes like the reason you want to do that and check those federal, state, and local things, because there are some rate increases. There may be rate increases or tax notices out there that you get for your company,
Yep.
and you may have to manually update that in the payroll system, right? Or upload it so the payroll provider could update it for your company.
Yep. Unemployment rates.
Yes. All those things are so important. And then if you don't update those things, your company is going to potentially under withhold.
Yep.
And then at the end of the year, they'll be like, hey, you still owe us this amount of money because you only had it at this percentage and it went up a percent.
That's right.
So
and they're gonna be like, hey, who was supposed to? No, it's a great call out. It made me think about something, because when that happens, they're gonna be like, who's supposed to update this? And then payroll, HR, like somebody dropped the ball, because some big systems are doing it automatically now, and kudos to that. Thank goodness, because it's mindless. It's not just updated. There's no argument about it. There's no thought about it. It just has to happen. But it reminds me, I don't know if you remember this, but one year in Texas, they did the update mid-year.
Yes,
but they expected us to retro back to the first of the year. So it was like, oh yeah, anyway. And then Texas was on me about all of the money that we owed them because we instantly had a retro payment due.
Yes, it was just crazy to me.
Yeah, it wasn't our fault. Like, why? No other vendor could possibly do that, but the government, right? They take these are the things you have to look out for. And I don't know
if it was you that said it, but you said the government are bullies.
Heck yeah. If I didn't say it, I agree wholeheartedly. For sure. What bugs me out is that cliff. They always talk about the year-end tax cliff. Oh my goodness. If this happens, then these rates are going to do this and that and do that. And I remember one year, I don't remember the specifics, but we were literally waiting for that cliff and all the way through December to change some rates in the system for the new year. And it honestly, bro, it was like it came down to the last week of December. And of course, you got to work and do that. And it's what in the heck? Again, number one call out, check for all these updates in the jurisdictions you're in, federal, state, local, latest updates and forms, etc. Just make sure you're good, that your system is updated, you're ready for the calendar year. Think about 401k limits, things like that. There's a new limit for that. There's new wage bases. Talking about this makes me think about all the people that are going to call, not all the people, high earners. High earners are going to call payroll and HR and say, my taxes went up, right? And the reason they're saying that is because high earners, they hit their wage limit sometime in the summer.
Way
for
sooner.
Contributions to, there is a max of Social Security and Medicare. Normal people don't usually reach that max because we don't make that much money. But when in the summertime is usually when high earners stop. They max out on their contribution to Social Security and Medicare because it is a percentage, but it's up to a max wage base. And 401k is the same thing. It's no matter how you choose to contribute, the IRS still regulates how much you can contribute annually based on your age. So these things, they start hitting these maxes and they're like, and then it resets Jan 1. And then now all of a sudden, there's less money in their check when they get paid. And they're like, yo, you messed up my check. No, I didn't. Everything reset. And there's also new tax rates, right? Not only make sure that the updates happened, but you may want to communicate that down to your people. Hey, folks, I don't know, whatever, this local went up, this state went
Yes.
up.
Yes.
Please anticipate a higher rate of deduction because this went up, or whatever, benefit deductions. If your company's changed,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Communication, right?
Yes. And if you really want to go above and beyond, like for the employee piece, you can supply, like at our current 9 to 5 that Brian and I have, we have a newsletter that goes out, right, with helpful information that
Yep.
everybody just sends information to. You can create something and have it plugged into that newsletter if your job
Yep.
has those,
Yep.
or if they don't, and you have to send out the communication for your payroll or HR team, then you can just create a little sheet with some different facts, interesting facts. Like,
Yep.
for instance, that in 2024, the Social Security limit is going to go up to $168,600, right?
Wage base.
The wage base, and that's an increase of 8,400 from 2023.
Right.
So people are going to have to be prepared to pay a little bit more tax.
Yep.
Because they're paying on a higher wage amount, right? So they're going to end up paying more taxes. So you can let people know, hey, if you make this or more, just be prepared if you're a high earner, right?
And see, no, you got me going now, because now if we're talking communication, I would even say target those folks, right? You, as a payroll professional, as an HR professional, you know who's going to be impacted. Target those folks and just say, hey guys, you guys are going to be impacted. You're going to be paying longer. But that's a great call out.
You want to definitely do that. You never know. Yes, target those people, but you never know who at your company, they may make less than that, but whether their spouse is a high earner and they get that information and they're like, oh, hun.
Helpful. It's a balancing act with communication, right? Because in HR, what we always talk about is, do we want to alert the folks who it doesn't impact to this information? So it's a balancing act, right? I get what you're saying from a pure numbers and the kind of customer service, but in HR, the conversation that comes up in the conversations for communications every single time. The next one is, speaking of communications, be proactive, right? Number 2, be proactive and plan for the year ahead about anything you learned from the prior year. For example, and I think that hopefully this year will be my first year, I'm going to be intentional about saving this list, because we always come across things during the year and we're like, oh, next year we're going to do it better, right? Oh, next year we're going to do it better. But if you don't write it down, if you're not intentional, if you don't put it on your plan, if you don't put it in your forecast, you're not going to do better. The thing is going to come next year, you're going to forget again. And you're going to be like, oh crap, this is what I wanted to do better last year, blah, blah, blah. So be intentional, be proactive, be intentional for that. I thought I had an example of what I wanted to do. Oh, but I didn't write anything down. If I think of it, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Then the last one is what I like, and I think is going to be a big theme for me this year is education, employee education, training on applicable updates or policy changes for that impact them, right? Maybe there's some things that impact the greater whole, an unemployment rate that you got to update from item number 1 that we just said may not impact an employee directly. But Walt just said with the wage base going up, that impacts employees directly. You want to be intentional about the communication, the education of it all. Do they understand their paychecks? I urge payroll folks going into the new next 10 years, let's be more intentional about helping employees within our companies understanding their paychecks. Right?
So not just their paychecks. Like we as payroll professionals are sometimes a little bit, in some cases, more tech savvy when it comes to these systems, and you have employees, they can't even navigate their app or their website. That is a part of that employee education.
So
absolutely. It's not just about, yes, it is about the paycheck, and that's the main piece of it, but there's other pieces to that you can help guide them, like, how do I request PTO?
I was just going to say time and intensity.
How do I do that? How do I do this?
Right.
And you can be the ones to help educate them and just get ahead of the game and say, hey, employee FAQs, here you go, and send it out every year. Hey, you do think about it. You only have to do it once or twice. You can do it like the end of the year and mid-year. And say, hey, these are some updates. Here you go. Or you might want a little more frequent. You might want to do that a little bit more frequent if you want. In some cases, depends on your setup, right?
I suggest frequency if your stuff is like in shambles. If stuff is just mess, so I would suggest frequency to stabilize, and then you can find the right groove. But that's a great. Be intentional. That was number 3 for employee education, applicable update, things that impact them. Training, help them use systems better, help them navigate the company better that you can help them with. You can't help them with everything, but the stuff that you touch for payroll, for HR, like the systems that they're getting in, right? Payroll and HR has responsibility anywhere employee information is.
Yes.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
That's a nugget. I hope you say that clip.
Yes, and I'm going to repeat it. Keep that in mind, right? Because payroll folk often complain about having to stretch out of their comfort, or we shouldn't have to do that. But if you apply that rule, payroll and HR are responsible for anywhere there's employee information.
This episode is brought to you by CBS. DMV is a brand new workplace comedy turning misery into magic and chaos into comedy. Starring Harriet Dyer and Tim Meadows, DMV is here to serve you laughs. Watch Mondays at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Right? Keep that in mind, and then you'll be okay. Oh, yeah. And don't be afraid to stretch. If they need you to stretch, learn something new. Me and Walt are here today in our current success and level of payroll because we never said no. It wasn't always good, but we never said no. Right.
We've been on the battlefield.
Roll up our sleeve, and we still on the battlefield, and we get into it, and we weren't scared to get into it. We weren't. I was doing some work with a colleague the other day on Excel. And it was tedious. It's tedious work. And at the end of the session, he was teaching me how to do something in Excel that he built for us. And he's passing the knowledge over. And I'm like, at the end, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And he's like, I don't know many people that would call this awesome, Brian, but I definitely respect that you called it awesome. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, this is my claim to fame, bro. Having to do this type of work is why I'm here today, because I was never afraid. I was like, oh, you need me to do that, boss? Absolutely. Let's do it. So yeah. Anywho, man, take us out on these last 3 here.
Yeah, number 4. This can be tied to number 2 about being proactive and planning for the year ahead. You want to analyze payroll data from the prior year and report any interesting trends or discoveries. An example: what did OT look like? Were there any earnings that? Any earning trend codes, any earning code trends, any earning code trends, budgets and reviews, like forecasting. You want to find those things to see, hey, has there been a steady increase in OT over the year? What has been the average over month to month? Like, you can do all those quick things and throw a pivot table in something and find the average by month if you want, like for those OT. That's just an example, right?
Yeah.
And then budget reviews and sharing those things with accounting is always going to ask us. Finance is always going to ask us to help them research certain things.
Yep.
You can be ahead of the game. Imagine being ahead of the game and say, oh, I already have this. Here you go. Boom. Look at this. And if you already are prepared and do that yourself, you'll train yourself to be prepared instead of reacting a little bit. And you may have some stuff already ready to go for them, so you can just hand it off like easy. Okay, so here are other few things that you could do on a recurring basis and not just at the beginning of a new calendar year. Audits. Yes, that's broad, but there's so many different audits that you could do, right? You can audit to make sure you should do this stuff anyway to make sure that if you have multiple company codes, you want to make sure that their frequency and there's been a change in those. You want to make sure, even though you may have already done it, just check in the back areas to see that everything is set up correctly. Did we change this on the employee level? Did we do this on the employer level? There's so many different audits that you could do just to make sure, because it's a part of one of Brian's things, data hygiene for payroll, right? That'll help keep the data clean, because as we know, garbage in, garbage out, right? You want to make sure, and this is a big one, I'm glad you put this one on here, is cybersecurity for personal identifiable, what's it, PII?
Yeah.
I keep wanting to go to personal protected information, but you said it changed. I keep wanting to go there, PII. You want to make sure that cybersecurity is going to be a big focus, or should be a big focus for your company and you as the payroll professional, right? You want to make sure that you're not just sending certain reports and files all willy-nilly, even if it's internal, because a lot of us are in a hybrid or remote work situation. So even if that email isn't internal, you may be on a different VPN or your own internet or whatever. So you never know if that person's personal identifiable information that you have on that email or report is not being accessed, because
Yeah.
you might be on a site, some shady site at your home internet,
Yeah.
and you leave it up while you're working, and someone's accessing your company's data. That's why they say, even when you're at home, that you should close the browser. Even when you're at home, don't leave your
Absolutely.
browser up.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you have company files on your desk or in your drive, somebody could hack into your stuff and gain access to that. Another thing that you want to focus on is professional development, continue education, right?
Yeah.
So we're never going to stop learning. We shouldn't stop learning, I should say, in payroll, right? We're going to have to make sure that we continue to educate ourselves, because there's different things that are changing. AI is gonna impact the workforce
Yes.
and payroll and just in general.
Yep.
So we have to be prepared to really educate ourselves on that, and stay as things change. We need to make sure that we adapt and change as well. So professional development, especially in these next coming years, I feel are going to be really important for payroll professionals to focus on. Another one is the employee classification review. You want to speak more on this one? Because I was thinking of something else. I want to make sure that I was thinking the same thing. But you're talking about the type of employee here.
Yeah.
You're saying, so if they're full-time, are they full-time? Do you have them set up to be benefit eligible in the system?
Exactly.
Or
salary non-exempt, hourly,
vice versa.
hourly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make
Yeah.
sure that, hey, it's a part of that data hygiene.
Yeah. And part of that, what you should be doing on a recurring basis, even if it's not payroll's responsibility. If you see red flags, alert your HR counterpart. Hey guys, we noticed this.
Yes. And one of the things that you and I, we worked for a few education places already. And there's a thing that's called 10-month, 12-month, 11-month employees.
Yeah.
There's even some colleges that when we were doing this calendar that Brian and I were working on, we found out that some universities have 9-month employees, 9-month contracts. So 9 out of 12, 9 over 12. So what that means is that if it's 10 over 12, that means you work 10 months, but you get paid over 12. And if you're 10 over 10, that means you only work 10 months and you're paid 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to really make sure that you get that classification right, especially if your system and your payroll system handles that information. You want to make sure that is correct, because those contracts can change year over year. School year, they can change. They can agree to one this year and it'd be different next year.
I was out of college that it changed semester to semester. I had to give and payroll was responsible for pushing those contracts out. I had to, payroll sat in HR, but because it was payroll related, and the document also put the pay schedule. They were like, oh, pay, that's enough pay stuff, give it to payroll.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I had a separate teammate that did it, but I had to manage that person and oversee the project. Anywho, we had to submit new contracts every semester. So twice a year we did it. So sometimes 3 times, because then if there was a summer course, whatever. So it could be more. But anywho.
Yes. And then one of the last things here in this section is to prepare and review tax records. Like, you're going to save yourself so much time and energy if you get a jump on this, right? And because you just don't want to be reactive, right? Because if you get some notices and you're not reviewing those things ahead of time, like some systems have a place where they can point stuff out to you. Hey, you need to research this, research that. Just don't let that stuff build up. And then you find yourself getting a bunch of notices. Hey, you guys haven't filed for this quarter this year, or whatever, and you're getting those things. So you want to make sure that you stay on top of that, because it is really important, because you can find your company getting in trouble in some cases and some litigation coming because you haven't reviewed and prepared those tax records.
Yeah.
Are you tired of talent and HR podcasts that sound like corporate training videos? Same. Talentless is the no-fluff show about hiring, leadership, culture, and what's actually going on in the world of work. Talentless is a podcast for recruiters by recruiters. Hosted by Desiree Goldie and Ashley King, they're smart, occasionally salty, and never afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. Listen wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe at talentlesspodcast.com.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then we have a season 8 preview for you. We are very excited about season 8. In the last year, we learned that there are not enough young people in the payroll industry to backfill. So how do we get young people excited about getting into payroll?
Yes.
That is going to be the focus of season 8. We're gonna bring in some young and up and coming payroll professionals, maybe even some HR professionals, and we're going to talk to them and really pick their brain and see how, what excites them, right? We should tap in to the minds of the younger adults and really try to say, hey, what will get you interested in payroll? You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're going to have those guests on. Instead of saying, hey, you need to be interested in payroll, what would get you interested? Is basically what I'm trying to say. So,
I got you. Yeah, for sure. No, and that's part of it, man. And if you guys have ideas, please let us know with the company page on LinkedIn. It's about payroll. Reach out. How do we get young people excited? We need young people to start getting excited about payroll so that they can get into payroll and backfill us in the next 10, 20 years. You know what I mean? And some of the things that we're going to work on through the season is show young folks the modernization of payroll, right? It's technology, it's strategy, give them awareness. We're on social media, like all these different little ideas, and we need more. We need more ideas. Like like Walt just said, we need to pick their brain and get their input. What gets you excited about getting into a particular industry, or what would about any industry? Like, how do we get your attention? You know what I mean?
That's one of the reasons why I like Becky and her team, Becky Dillon and team over at Accounts and Legal in the UK. They have a different dynamic. And like you said in the other episode, they don't seem stuffy. They don't seem closed off like most people associate with accounting and something like that. So I just wanted to say that because they have a really good dynamic there. And I think that's something that they really focus on is the people. And,
they're making TikToks with their teams about accounting stuff, and they're hilarious. You know what I mean? Stuff like that will probably attract the youth because the youth right now is I think they're dumping everything to get to social media, and there's probably opportunity there too. You can become a podcaster and an influencer, but you do need to learn some payroll. If you want to be a influencer of payroll or find a new avenue, hey, do some payroll for a few years. And then boom, now you instantly have an opinion. That's what season 8 is going to be about. We'll have other things too. We always bring new companies on and talk to interesting payroll professionals and HR. Absolutely, that's still going to happen. But the overarching theme of season 8 is going to be how do we get young people involved? And then it'll probably remain something that we talk about throughout the years. Like cybersecurity has become a mainstay in our conversation. Getting young people involved is going to become that mainstay as well, because the numbers are just not there for us for backfill. And it's going to be exciting to try to get young people involved. Yeah. So that is season 8. We're really excited. I'm excited. And that's it, man. I think that's it for today.
Yep. Happy New Year, everybody. By the time you see this, we'll already have been in the new year. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, and hope you were with lots of loved ones and had a great time.
Word. Happy New Year, folks. We love you. Peace.
Before we sign off, here are a couple of quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you for being a part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.